This is Q1 Catch-Up 2025, a co-production between Cinematic Doctrine and Movies and Us. Oh gosh, you know what I didn't do, guys? I mean, this is staying in, it's fine. This is funny. But I didn't pre-script what is the start of these episodes? I don't know how to introduce it.
This is the intro.
Here we are.
You nailed it.
Yes.
We got it.
Total confusion.
That's perfect.
So,
I love it.
Listener, I got to know Sarah and Jen last year. We did a joint episode, and then we did another episode together, and it was a lot of fun. And I then had this idea, well, why don't we maybe once a month get together to do a recording? And then rightfully, Sarah and Jen were like, that's too much. How about once a quarter? And I was like, okay, cool, let's do that. And then the idea was to do a quarterly catch up, hence the title. So basically, we're covering a movie a week, but sometimes we watch more movies, or sometimes we watch a ton of other movies outside of the show. So now we can talk about them because we have a space to talk about them. And so there'll be little quick rundowns of just what we've been watching. Then after that, we'll talk about what we're anticipating, so whatever's coming up throughout the rest of the year. And then at the end, just kind of what else we've been up to, because we're people. We do more than just talk about movies on podcasts. So, but that's enough of me talking. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Jen. Let's start with Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Melvin. I think in this perfect intro, we also didn't say that, Melvin, you are the host of the just excellent movie podcast, Cinematic Doctrine. And if you are listening to this on the Movies and Us podcast feed, you need to go follow Cinematic Doctrine because Melvin is a gem. But yes, I am Sarah. I am one of the co-hosts of Movies and Us. And we're so excited to be here and to just catch up and talk movies and other stuff and life. It's going to be a great time.
And life. Hey, Jen. What's going on, Jen? How are you, Jen?
So my name is Jen. I am the other half of Movies and Us. And yeah, we are all collectively thriving here in March 2025. But you know what? We need moments like this, honestly, to just come together and just chit chat and be silly and ridiculous and talk about things that we've liked, things that we've watched, that we have feelings and thoughts about, and just get to share in it together. I think it's going to be really fun. I know sometimes when we dive into a film and pick it apart and all that goodness, it's just a different vibe in this episode, which I think will be really fun. We're just chit-chatting about movies, TV, what we're excited for. I particularly loved that section being included. I was like, oh, there's so many good things coming. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then just life things, which I think I'm intrigued to hear what's been on all of y'all's minds lately on the life front too. So it'll be just good to hang out, chat movies, chat TV, chat media, chat life.
So I guess we'll kick it off. Let's so the first question that we kind of have is just what we've been watching, whether it's been stuff for the podcast or not for the podcast, because who knows, maybe we have changed thoughts or different thoughts on something we covered or on either show, or there's just something we didn't really know how to talk about it on the podcast, but we're desperate to talk to somebody about it. So Jen, what have you been watching?
Yeah. Okay. So I've brought two things today to our quarterly chat hangout. One is a show and one is a film. So the film, I'll start with the film because we're movie podcasters. So the film is called Better Days. It's a Chinese foreign language film, which when I was browsing for things to watch one day, I was like, there's obviously so much media that comes from Asia and from China specifically, but I realized I hadn't watched a Chinese foreign language film in a really long time. And this is a film that was nominated in the 2019 Oscars in the international feature category. And it's based on a young adult novel, which I think is actually really important for framing the film. And without that knowledge, I think the whole teenage romance and the school dynamics, I think, land a little bit differently. It's the novel that it's based upon is In His Youth, in Her Beauty. And it's a film that talks about school bullying. So there's a young girl who is about to take the college entrance exam, and she's bullied by her peers. It's very emotional, very tragic, all of the feelings. But I think what was most interesting to me is the looming focus and backdrop of this college entrance exam. I am of Chinese origin, and so I got to just growing up hear a lot about this college entrance exam in China and the way that like completely dominates so much of the brain space of the youth in China, especially in their high school years, and so much of their lives like revolve around this. I think comparing it to SATs is like not even a fair comparison at all, because this is like the most important like moment really of their lives, and the weightiness of it all is so significant. It really is like trajectory changing for a lot of these young kids' lives. So I thought that woven in with all of the other themes was really fascinating. And then there's just a lot that's filmed like a horror film, which I think is really interesting. It's very subtle, but that's an interesting aspect of this as well, with the interactions between this young girl and the bullies. So lots of long shots of like dark hallways and sound effects and whatnot. So it's just an incredibly like nuanced, emotional film. And I think it's one that I just out of my typical palette and preference, but was a really fascinating experience. So Better Days is my one of the things that I wanted to highlight.
Talking about like Asian culture and bullying in school made me think of the anime A Silent Voice. But that kind of takes place across elementary and then into high school. Does Better Days like stay at a particular grade period, or is it like over a long period of time?
It's actually short window of probably like a few weeks, that like the month before this young girl's about to take the college entrance exam. And so you feel the mounting pressure from the beginning of the film, and you just have no idea that it's about to hit the fan in every dimension of her life. Yeah. And it's already so dramatic by the time the film opens. So it's those few weeks before that college entrance exam that it's focused on. And there's one other like little detail that I wanted to highlight that I thought was so fascinating. So I watched it on Prime Video with the English subtitles, and the intentionality for the signage around the school to be also translated in the subtitles and shown was so fascinating to me, because there's all of these signs and shots of like, work hard, like go get the glory, like no room for mistakes, discipline. And I just thought it was so smart for whoever the translators were for the film, for the subtitles, to know that like translating the signs is like vital to the vibe and atmosphere of this movie. So I was just so pleased by that little detail, because they didn't have to do that, but it adds actually so much to the thesis of the movie. So that was great. I was so pleased by that.
Sarah, did you have any thoughts?
No, I just immediately added this to my to watch list. I'm intrigued. I'm bought in. Let's go. I had never heard of this, so I'm intrigued to watch it and experience this.
It's very melodramatic, so go in with that.
I'm ready.
And it's also based on a young adult novel.
Sometimes that's just what you want.
It's really tragic, and this is everyone's disclaimer: young adult novel. Keep that in mind the whole movie. But it's fascinating to see also and read about how like this became like a huge cultural sensation in China at the time. So I'm just
really,
I was so that was also really top of mind for me. It's like, this really resonated and became a widespread sensation. Something here is really resonating with this youth of this country, or even the adults of that country. So very interesting.
You had one more thing though. What was the other thing you had?
Oh yes, my other one is the complete polar opposite of Better Days. It's Insecure season 1 by Issa Rae. It just It's great. It's really fun and spritzy, but also she packs so many important commentary on like racial dynamics in America in there so seamlessly. But it's also just like two gals navigating, like their 20s and 30s together in all aspects of life. And yet there's these just little vignettes where she's making a point and she's bold and unafraid to do it. So I just love how smart Issa Rae is in her choices to be like appealing to the masses, ensuring you're having a good time, but also she's not gonna let you walk away without thinking about some things too. So it's really great, really funny. I just love whatever she does. So fascinated to watch more. I'm just finished season 1. I just started season 2.
Sarah, what about you? What do you got? What you been watching?
Okay, so I have 5 things on my list, which is probably too many, but
Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
I had to include Sing Sing on my list. We watched it as part of our run up to the Oscars. For me, it was an immediate 5 stars. It should have been nominated for Best Picture, but it wasn't, and I'm still salty. Coleman Domingo should have won Best Actor, still salty. But yeah, Sing Sing is just a phenomenal film. I would change nothing in it, and it's just, I think it's such an important film right now, especially in the current age that we're living in, and there's so much like dehumanization in our language and how we speak about people, and that entire film is just about honoring this group of people who are in prison, and I loved it. It was just phenomenal. So Sing Sing is great.
So a better prison movie than Joker 2.
Yes, significantly. You're gonna watch those 2 movies for different reasons.
Is there singing in Sing Sing?
No.
Like Joker 2?
No, there is not.
Do you think people...
They're a theater troupe.
That's good. Do you think it didn't get nominated because the Academy was like, I don't want to watch a musical right now? So they just didn't put Sing Sing on?
Honestly, I don't know why the Academy does what it does, but it's fine.
Yeah. I loved the reports that were people like, I already saw Dune. I didn't really like it. I'm not going to watch Dune 2 again, says the Academy members. Just crazy.
You have one job. Just do your job.
Just watch it.
And if you're not going to do your job, do something else. Let somebody do the job who will do the job. It's fine.
Still better than the Golden Globes. Much better than the Golden Globes.
Yes.
But what's the other ones you got?
Okay. Then I want to give a shout out to Black Bag, which is, I think, still in theaters right now.
Yes.
So much fun. Soderbergh, it's taking the spy genre and doing something interesting and new in it. So well written, so efficient. It's a 90-minute movie. Praise the Lord. It's just such a fun time at the theaters. So if you can go see Black Bag in the theater, I do recommend doing that. It's a great time.
Black Bag gives me hope for the movies.
You liked it?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so good. It gives me hope for saving movies of that space that it occupies too. It's like this very small scoped, quick 90-minute feature that's so clever, so sharp, packs a punch, and also isn't drawn out. It's not big and flashy and trying to give you the big emotional stakes. It's just, it is what it is, and it's so specific in that place that it occupies. So we need more movies like Black Bag, I think, to round out our movie landscape.
What else you got?
Okay, so we have 1 movie and then 2 TV shows very quickly. So the other movie is Heretic. I wanted to watch this last year, and then I finally got around to it a month ago, and I loved it, especially as a non-horror movie person. I appreciated how cerebral it all was. And I loved Hugh Grant's performance. He is the person who makes that movie. And I just appreciate what Hugh Grant is doing with his career. He went from this really suave, heartthrob British guy, and now he's just making these movies that you would never expect, where he is the villain or he's just having a great time doing off-the-wall things, and I love it. And so you see a phenomenal performance from Hugh Grant in Heretic, cool. And I just had a great time with it.
What got your attention? If you don't like horror movies, why'd you go see it? I mean, it's good that you saw it, but
I was intrigued by Hugh Grant being this villain horror movie guy. Yeah. And then there was just a bunch of movie people who saw it and enjoyed it. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. So I did.
What are the shows you have?
Okay, so one of them is called The Residence, and it just came out on Netflix. I finished it like 2 days ago. It's just a wonderful, cozy mystery. And honestly, cozy mysteries are all I've been wanting to watch lately. So this absolutely fit the bill. The detective is this like independent Black woman. She is so quirky and weird. She's a birder and will just stop in the middle of her investigation to go
Cool.
look at birds. And she's investigating a murder that happened at the White House. So it's all of these like really like powerful men who are trying to like get her to do certain things. And she's just like, no, I'm going to do my process. I'm the best detective in the world, and I'm going to solve this murder. And so it's quirky, it's fun, it's lighthearted. The characters are so colorful. I had a great time with it. So The Residence, it's currently on Netflix. I think it's worth watching. And then the other TV show in a similar yet very different vein is Bad Sisters, which is on Apple TV Plus. And there are 2 seasons out. I loved the first season. The second season is good, but I think the first season is better. And the premise is that this family, these sisters, one of their husbands dies, and he sucks. And so it's just kind of like the rest of the season is like flashbacks to the sisters plotting to kill him, basically, and failing to do so. And so it's this whole like mystery of, okay, what actually happened to him? How did he die? And then there are some insurance investigators that are kind of like on their case and also trying to figure it out. So it's an Irish show, so it has a lot of like dark Irish humor, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I had a great time with Bad Sisters.
That sounds like a mix of Dairy Girls mixed with Kevin Can F Himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds kind of awesome.
Yeah, I had so much fun with it.
Y'all are gonna convince me to watch TV shows again. This is crazy. For the Movies Enough crew, I don't watch TV. Like it takes too long, and if a show gets bad, I go, I just wasted hours,
Yes.
I just days. So I was like, nope, I will stick to a movie. So, but now I'm hearing all these good shows, man. Whether you're listening on the Cinematic Doctrine or Movies and Us feed, reviews and ratings are the lifeblood of podcasting, so be sure to rate and review our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. So press pause and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Then press play again, so you can hear the rest of the show.
What about you, Melvin? What have you been watching?
Yeah, I am really busy. I've been so busy that like I've like been able to squeeze in movies where I can, but it's like sometimes I'm like, gosh, I don't consider all movie watching like work, but it takes a bit more attention than Call of Duty Zombies right now. So I've mostly been doing that, but I have watched a couple shows or movies. Would you like to hear them?
Let's hear.
Yes, absolutely. I'm on the edge of my seat. What has been worth pulling you away from Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Well, I recently recommended this on an episode of the podcast, but I saw The Midnight Meat Train, which is a very hard R horror movie, but it's based on a Clive Barker, I think, short story about like a train at night that people go missing when they get on it, and it's because there's this guy in a suit who bashes their brains in with a hammer. And a photographer who's played by Bradley Cooper very early in his career is trying to take voyeuristic photos, but he's encouraged to take ones that push it a little further. And the voyeuristic photos aren't like sexual, but they are definitely lurid, or like, maybe you should step in and do something, bud, instead of taking a photo. And so he then like watches, he learns someone went missing on a train the previous night. So he sneaks onto it, and then he witnesses this murder take place. So he's trying to, figure that all out. And that was great time. I really liked that movie. I don't know if that's your guys' cup of tea, like super ultra violent, weird crime movies, maybe a possible paranormal twist, but that one was that was it, as the Gen Zers say. That was it. But then then immediately after that I watched the My Little Pony movie. The one from for Gen 4, 2017.
That is not what I thought was
forgot
going to
about
come out of your
that.
mouth. Oh my gosh.
Was that intentional? Was that like a palate cleanser, or did that just happen?
Was that the choice?
Was intentional, not a palate cleanser.
Got it.
I
Wow.
I have a coworker who was like, "You should totally watch this because I knew you were a brony, Melvin." I said, "Okay, yeah, that's true," because that is true. I was a brony when I was in high school, and I was at 2012 BronyCon, the one where the light fixture started to melt. You can look it up. It was a whole thing. The second that light fixture started to melt, no one got burned. 5 minutes later, there were memes about it on the internet. Anyways, so I know my stuff, guys, when it comes to the main six. I gotta really start pulling it back though, because I'm gonna. All right, fine. You guys push me. I'm gonna tell you my top ranking for the ponies.
I'm ready.
It is.
I'm here for this.
It's Pink. I totally go unconventional because I can't really rank them. I have Pinkie Pie and Luna, Princess Luna at the top. And then in second place is Four Ponies. I have Rarity, Princess Celestia, Twilight Sparkle, and Fluttershy. And then I have Princess Cadence in 3. And then Applejack, as always, is usually at the bottom. But I also like all of them anyways. Anyways, the movie was good. It was,
Wait. I know nothing about these ponies, but I need you to explain why your top is your top. Like, sell us on it.
Okay, wait. Why? Who's on the top? Why
Yeah.
Pinkie Pie's on the top? Pinkie
Yes.
Pie's.
I know nothing about any of this, but I'm ready.
Pinkie Pie is super funny. They're very erratic. They're crazy. Is a goofball. Is a partier. Is erratic, but also still fun. And really, to tie it into at least talking about the movie or just the show, what's nice is that all the characters are extremely different, and they all bring like flaws as well as like positive like skills, and those things play into each other, but also like where someone is flawed, someone's skill will help or support them. And like the movie just kind of does that, but on a grand epic scale. That was fun. So not a palate cleanser, totally serious watch. And then that same day I finished watching. I really tried to cram in a bunch of movies this day. I watched The Mousetrap. Are you guys familiar with The Mousetrap?
From like the 90s, The Mousetrap?
This is a movie that released in 2024.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. I thought you were talking about like the Nathan Lane experience of my childhood. Yeah, I don't know this one that you're talking about.
So, in the same vein as Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 and 1, when Steamboat Willie, the Mickey, when he became public domain, as is tradition, someone made a horror movie based around Mickey Mouse. It's so bad. It's not funny.
Oh.
You thought Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 was like bottom tier. Like, this is really bad. It's so boring. And any positives I'd have to say about it, I've already said about Blood and Honey 1 as being kind of like taking this icon of like capitalism and like poo-pooing on it. So anyways, and then Blood and Honey 2 rips. That movie's so good. So I don't know what your listeners think of that movie. I know you got an episode on it, but I like it. I like it. Well, let's go into what we're anticipating. So I opened up what are some upcoming movies. I'll mention a couple that I think are, I don't know, significant. Because like A Working Man, that's not significant. Like, I'm sure it's going to be fun. Statham is a fun actor, but like, come on. So let's start with a Minecraft movie. What are you guys anticipating a Minecraft movie? Keep in mind, listener, we're recording on the 26th of March, so the world has not fallen yet. we still have a couple days before Minecraft comes out. Sarah, are you excited?
I am not. I am not planning on seeing this movie, but I hope that everyone who sees it thoroughly enjoys themselves. It's not a me movie, so I will not be there.
What about you, Jen?
Yeah, this is not on my radar, but I love this is on your radar. I just didn't,
Yes.
I don't play with Minecraft, I haven't played, so all those little like references and stuff will go over my
Oh man, there was one trailer I saw and it looked dope. It was what is her name? Alison Brie's in it. It was like Alison Brie and James Franco. That's the brother, right?
Oh, Dave Franco?
Dave Franco. I think because that's what they're dating, right? They're like married or dating. I don't remember, but it's some sort of like weird body horror romance where they're
Together.
Like, thank you. Yes,
Nice.
thank you.
Comes
That
out
one,
August 1st, 2025, according to IMDb.
I mean, that one, I like that trailer sold me on it. I was like, that sounds dope. All the listener, all I think the trailer kind of gives is like they're like romantically involved. The trailer has like beautiful music, so it's clearly like self-serious. but they seem to be like having like not seizures, like horror movie seizures, I should say, but then also like connecting in very bizarre ways, and it just looked surreal and kind of awesome. So I really want to see that. And then I think I had nothing else. I had literally nothing else. There's no Final Destination Bloodlines. The trailer dropped. I'm so hyped. That looked awesome. That's all I got. I just can't wait to cringe in the theater. It's gonna be a ton of fun. But yeah, let's I guess we'll go in the
Nice.
reverse order. So Sarah, what are you looking forward to?
So a movie that I'm looking forward to is Sinners, which comes out
Yes.
in April.
Yes.
I think
Totally
that's going
forgot.
to be a
It's so
blast.
soon.
I am so ready. Let's go. And so then everything else that I'm looking forward to is TV related.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's here.
excited. We're supposed to get a new season of The Bear this summer. So I'm excited about that.
Yay.
And then the other things that I'm excited for are shows that either just finished or are about to finish a new season, and I just need the season to all come out so that I can binge the whole season, because I don't want to do a weekly watch business. No, I need to binge. So one of them is Death in Paradise, which is one of my favorite cozy mysteries. We get a new season and a new detective, so I'm very excited about that. I have started watching Paradise, which is on Hulu. I have
that's
2
good.
episodes left. I'm really enjoying it. I need to finish the show, but I'm having a great time. So I'm looking forward to those last 2 episodes. And then the other 2 shows that I think either just finished or are about to finish are both on HBO Max, and that is The Pitt and The White Lotus season 3. So I am very excited to watch both of those. I've heard great things.
My whole feed is White Lotus season 3.
Yeah. I'm so
Everyone.
excited. I'm
Everyone
ready.
is watching.
And then what about you, Jen?
Okay, so some things on my list. I have a bunch of things, but I'll include the things that are in scope for the next like couple of months and not the rest of the year. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. This is a new Kogonada film, which I'm so excited about. It's got Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. And Kogonada just, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Like an absolute visionary. He has so much to say. Just loved his previous film. So curious about that. And specifically the like Margot Robbie, Colin Farrell piece of it. Just fascinated to see what they'll do. Ana de Armas, John Wick spinoff, Ballerina, June 6th.
Oh yeah, Ballerina.
I'm just pumped to have a good time, you know? So I think that'll just a good time. I think a lot of people will go see it too. So it'll be fun to be able to talk about that movie with like just friends. And then Caught Stealing is a new Darren Aronofsky film. It's coming out in late August, I think August 29th. Just fascinating to see what Aronofsky does. He always does something wild, and intrigued to see what he'll do there. So those are the 3 coming out, I think, in the next couple of months that are on my radar. Sinners was on the list too, but Sarah mentioned that one. We're going to review that one for sure, so that'll be good.
There was one that I had that I totally forgot to mention, and it's in theme with this discussion because I kind of brought up a similar movie earlier. Screamboat comes out this summer, which is another Mickey Mouse horror movie.
Screamboat.
But it looks like it's going to be better quality.
I'm like, do I need to add this to my to watch list? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Screamboat.
Yes, you should.
The answer is yes.
Do we need to review this movie together? Like,
yeah, more importantly.
How excited are we about this film, Melvin?
Screamboat.
It just looks better. Like this one took its time, whereas Mousetrap was like, I mean, there are literal mistakes in Mousetrap. There's a black frame in the movie, which like, how do you look at your editing track and miss that. Like, that is so bad. And so Screenboat, though, is coming from
Wait, this looks
some
fun.
I don't know, just looks better.
Yeah, this looks incredible. I'm hooked based on this
The
premise.
movie poster alone.
This is great.
The movie poster alone.
Yeah.
This movie is not taking itself seriously. That is essential.
Enjoying this episode? Grab that share link and tell your friends. Word of mouth is the most effective way for a podcast to reach new listeners, so don't be shy. Share the episode wherever you can. Well then, what else are we up to? Like, what's our lives like? Are we surviving or are we thriving? I guess we'll go in reverse rotation again. Jen, what's up? What you been up to?
I feel like I've lived 5 lives in the past 3 months, so that's how the year's been going for me. I also joke that I feel like life is like operating at like a 1.5x speed, and I just like forgot that I set my life to that playback speed. So there's just, I think there's a lot happening, but things that have been on the horizon coming up that I'm excited for. Doing a trip to Turkey very soon. So
Cool.
been just whenever I go to a new country, it just is so fun to like experience and read up on and listen to so much of the history of that place. So I've been just like learning so much about the Ottoman Empire, which like, why didn't they teach us more of this in school? It is like foundational to literally the way that all of civilization as we know it today exists. So I'm just like, man, there's some big gaps in our like school curriculum system, because we didn't cover that a lot. We covered a lot of like Western Europe, but my gosh, this was essential. So yeah, I'm excited about some upcoming trip stuff. Life's just been really crazy busy. I want to shout out this incredible concert that I went to, and this artist, his name is Jake Shimabukuro. He's a ukulele virtuoso, and I haven't been to a music concert experience that has like blown my mind like the way that he has in a long time. So just the like sheer technicality is like insane, unmatched. Just the hours of like discipline and craft that he's done with this instrument is insane, but then just incredibly moving and electric. So great music has been filling my life, and he's been
nice.
He's been incredible. So just wanted to give him a shout out too.
What kind of music do you typically listen to? Is it more like that, or was that kind of a spur of the moment, or have you been following them for a while?
Not at all. Did not follow them at all. It was actually at a jazz club, which is interesting. So there's this amazing gem of a spot in Seattle called Dimitri's Jazz Alley. And so my friend and I bought tickets. We were like, let's go. She was taking me out for my birthday. And so we show up and it's like, oh, this is a ukulele experience. And we expected ukulele in the ways that we've heard it today. This was not a ukulele, okay? I don't know what instrument this was, but he was doing something incredible. And yeah, I don't listen to this type of that music typically. I listen to a lot of like R&B and like synthy pop stuff, but man, mind blowing. I think just electric. When an artist is able to perform with like quietness and the entire room is holding its breath, like, you know, they've done something magical. So there'd be so many parts where he's playing so quietly and the audience is just no one made a single sound. It was incredible. So it was great.
What about you, Sarah? What's up? What you been up to?
Yeah, lately I have been watching lots of sports. That is my form of escapism right now.
Cool.
I have also been reading a lot more. One of my goals for 2025 is just to read more. So I've already finished 9 books this year,
Nice.
which feels like quite an accomplishment because I think I only read 10 books last year. So we're doing great. I just finished Parable of the Sower and it is so good. So if you are into reading, go read Parable of the Sower. It is shockingly relevant to our world today. But it's so well written. It's so immersive. And then the last big thing that I have been up to is I'm actually working on writing a mystery novel right now. So that has been taking up quite a bit of my time. I have finished a first draft and now I'm going through a series of rewrites. And that's been a fun process to just be writing fiction. I forgot how much I love doing that. So that's been a good way to escape the world.
That's so cool. I guess you've been writing for a long time then. like independently.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have always enjoyed writing. And so at the end of last year, got it into my head like, you love mysteries. Why not write a mystery novel? So that is what I'm doing.
That's kind of awesome. What are
Is there
you
any
comfortable pitching it?
little tidbits of it that you can share?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't
Or
just
are you
tell
like,
us that
it's
and
not
not
ready
say
to be birthed
anything.
yet? Don't ask me. I can't share yet.
No, it's basically this this like young woman, her grandmother dies, and as she's going through her like grandmother's books, she essentially discovers a long lost relative went missing, and she just kind of can't get it out of her head. And so it just kind of starts her on this path of trying to solve that mystery, and she does it partially through like internet sleuthing stuff, but also her grandmother kept really detailed journals. And it turns out that her grandma also investigated. So along the way, she is working on solving this mystery, and she is also learning more about her family and learning more about herself in the process. So it's a little coming of age, little mystery, all kind of wrapped up together.
Have you published before?
I've self-published. I've written a number of like Christian devotionals, so I've self-published those. I haven't published any of my fiction work though.
Fiction is like a whole other world. It's
That is so exciting.
Yeah, it's like freeing and like also like exhausting.
Yes.
You mean I just gotta make it up?
Yeah.
I can't I gotta do it. Like it's just like oh man. So cool. That's awesome. Gosh, what have I been up to? I don't know. I'm not the right person to ask that question.
Well, you've been playing Call of Duty, right?
Zombies and
We
goblins.
got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there was a Patreon chat exclusive to the Patreon supporters of the Cinematic Doctrine podcast who heard a bit about like my Call of Duty escapades. Because I literally just played like I think like from I think 2008 is when Modern Warfare came out, and then World at War, and then Black Ops, and then blah 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 blah. All like I just played a ton of the Call of Duties. I think I'm only missing like 2 that I haven't finished because then Black Ops 6 came out. So it was fun like revisiting these games I played when I was in middle school, elementary, and like realizing, oh man, I had good taste then and I still got good taste now. And like the zombies mode was still fun then, really, really hard. My wife grew up playing PC, so she's not familiar with controller, so she didn't play a lot of these games. So we started playing split screen together, which was a ton of fun. So it was just kind of fun to see like within a year's time the differences between the campaigns and the stories that are being told. People are definitely right. Black Ops 2 is probably like peak. I mean, that was such a interesting story about like and gameplay and how it melded these two things together about like I don't know, just how generations like affect each other even like 40 years apart, and like it was so good, and I still think about it. I want to replay it again. I hope it gets a remake too because it would probably look great in like modern visuals. It for you guys, did you play like Call of Duty or any video games growing up or anything?
No.
I was a Mario kid. So I started on
That's
the Super
cool.
Nintendo, all of that, N64, GameCube, all of that jazz. So I was very much a Mario person. So yeah, that was my video game experience as a kid.
That's honestly like I still like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is still probably my like one of my number one games. That game is so good, so funny, and then the story's great. But yeah, the premise for Black Ops 2 is like you're jumping between the future of 2025 because this game came out like 12 years ago, and you're talking to an older character that was in the previous Black Ops, Woods, who's in a wheelchair. He's super old, and he's reminiscing about this event that took place like in the late 80s, maybe early 80s, and it's like a mission they were sent on, and he made them this mistake where they were trying to capture somebody who was like a serious bad dude, but he wanted revenge because that guy had abducted him and like tortured him for years, and he ends up like killing the guy's like family on accident with a grenade. So now it's like 40 something years later, and like we're playing the story of that time, and the unfolding events that happened like the 5 years after that, and then the current time when you're interviewing Woods, of like how like this stuff is still affecting things, and like you play as his best friend's son, so you're seeing how it affects everybody in his life that he cares about, and it's just like amazing. And like the more I think about the story and then the way the gameplay feels, like just like it just melds together so well. So man, good stuff. But so anyways, that's what on my mind. I want to replay that game. And then the third game I keep thinking about too, which is totally different and really weird. But that's what I've been up to. Most of my time has been like special movie screenings for like weird movies I never thought I'd see in theaters. So like Primer, if you're familiar with Primer, it's super bizarre time travel movie. It's like notorious for being obscenely confusing. And it is. I got further this time, and then at some point I was like, I don't know what's happening. I can't figure it out. These guys accidentally make a time machine, so then obviously they're like, well, let's play the lottery. Like let's go back and just test it out. And then they go into like paradoxes, and like there's a scene where they're like, don't take your cell phone back with you because like we don't know how cell phone signals work, and like if you go back with your own cell phone, like is the call going to go to the phone that's supposed to be there? Is the phone call going to go to your phone? And like at one point it happens, and he's like, I don't think you should pick it up. He's like, wait, but I don't think I picked this phone up at the time. He's like, well, if you don't pick it up, you cannot pick it up. He's like, but if I do and it's just like so absurd, but it's so good, and it has all these subtle dramatic moments, so that was fun to see in theaters. And then the last thing I have is later last year there was a terror-a-thon. It was a ton of horror movies, and then there was a raffle, and if you're part of their like membership, which we are, because of course, you can go to these special surprise screenings. You don't know what they're going to be. They screen after like 10, and you have to like RSVP. And so we had gone to a couple of them already. They were great, but you could raffle in to be able to choose the next one. And I put in like $25, totally lost. I'm never gambling again. And I wanted to watch Dead Alive so bad in theaters. If you're not familiar with this movie, it's an early Peter Jackson movie. It's super violent. It's probably the most violent movie I've ever seen, but it's so funny because he has such a good grasp of slapstick. There's so much slapstick humor in it. It's just great, but it's so gross too because it's all practical effects. And I've already hosted a party where I had friends over to watch it. One of the best times we ever had. And I wanted to watch it in a packed theater, people who had never seen this movie before, because it's really hard to watch. I think it's only on physical. Like that's it. And then there's like a Mexican Blu-ray, which I guess now due to tariffs is like going to be way more expensive. But I go to this screening and Dead Alive starts. So whoever won the raffle had the same idea as me. I was so happy. And like there is to keep from going to an hour-long episode, there is just one scene. And this is a scene that whenever it comes up, I turn to everybody because it's early in the movie. I say, this is the grossest part in the movie. If you can get through this, you're fine. But I'm just telling you, it is disgusting. And it happened. And when I screened it at home, everyone freaked out. People turned away. They were like, no, 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 no. Gross, gross, gross. So funny. In the movie theater, it like happens. And everyone's disgusted and gross. I'm cackling because I know what's happening. And then like the scene ends and some boyfriend leans over to their girlfriend and just says like, hey, are you okay? Like, it was so funny. I was like, could not believe it. Oh, it was so good. So that was like the whole experience over and over and over. And man, I just want Peter Jackson to go back. Like, just go back and make a weird movie. Stop with your documentaries. They're good, but come on, dude. so I guess I have been up to some stuff.
You have been up
that's
to
a great list.
Yes.
Oh, man. Hey, both Cinematic Doctrine and Movies and Us are on Instagram. So if you want to keep up with either of us in real time, links will be in the show notes. Well, this was a lot of fun. I think we got some kinks to work out. We'll figure out the better pacing for our show, and but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to do these quarterly catch-ups. I feel like we're gonna be able to talk about like way more now that like
Yeah.
you're stuck to a single movie in an episode, but now we're free. We can do whatever we want. But let's go around again. Any last things you want to mention before we close it out? Sarah, what you want to share?
Yeah, I just thank you, Melvin, for coming up with this idea and creating this space and putting the questions together, doing all the editing. Like, just thank you for coming up with this. This has been such a good time. So once again, listener, if you are not following Cinematic Doctrine, be sure to do so. Follow his show,
Yes, please.
Support his Patreon. He just launched merch that is just for the Patreon subscribers. I think, if I remember reading the email correctly. Follow him on social media. Just make sure to connect with Melvin, because he is just such a fun person to talk with, such an insightful movie person. So yeah, make sure to follow Cinematic Doctrine.
You guys are too nice to me.
I see you shriveling up as she's saying that. Just
That's like my standard disposition.
Yeah, you also like missed the week of school, as Sarah likes to say, where they taught all the kids how to receive compliments.
I also missed that week of school. So like, if anybody compliments me, I was out with friends the other day and they kept saying nice things about me. And I just felt myself like shriveling back. I was like, oh my God, please stop talking about me. Talk about something else.
Bashful.
So I very much get it.
I tell that to Sarah all the time. I'm like, you did so great on this, blah, blah, blah. I know you're not receiving this, but like, I'm still going to say it, and feel free to, you don't need to respond. And we're now moving on in the conversation.
Send it in a letter.
Because I know you were uncomfy.
What about you, Jen? Any last things you want to mention?
Last things. Just, it's good to just hang out and spend this time together and just chit chat. It's fun to like learn new things about each other. Like learned so much new things about you, Melvin, and
yeah,
so great. It's so fun, and for us to just like laugh and giggle and hang out is great. We need it. We all need it. So come and do that with us again in 3 months, when we have more fun things to share, things we get to shout out, things we just get to like respond to, in all of the like media that we are consuming in our lives and things that we're consuming, but also just like the check-in of like, how's life? Like, what have you been up to? What's life look like is great too. So we're all needing connection. Yeah. This is our way to cultivate it. Come back in 3 months for more. Melvin, any last thoughts from you?
Well, I would be remiss not to mention that people should also definitely go listen to Movies and Us. I think the coverage that you guys have is impressive. I really enjoyed the like one of the things that I yearned for in film discussion podcasts was like more thoughtfulness, but also like still like the general joy of talking about movies and watching movies, because you don't want it to like become self-serious, like I said earlier, where it's like an art and it's objective, because that's like that's not fun. But then you also don't want it to just be like, wow, every movie I watch is an 8 out of 10, I love it, and it's like all the movies you're watching are Star Wars. Yeah, of course you love it. Like, you guys do a really great mix of everything. So if you're listening on the Cinematic Doctrine feed and you're a fan of the Cindoc show, you're definitely going to be a fan of Movies and Us. You should totally go check it out. Follow all their stuff online too, because they you guys just make a good show. Like, it's just a fact. Like, so I'll be objective. You guys make a good show. It's factual.